Alright, you guys, I'm ready to teach you your first lick. It's in the key of B. I'm using the B minor pentatonic scale, and it's kind of a nice secret weapon lick. It'll sound familiar to you, and it uses some outside notes of that straight pentatonic, but I'll explain it a bit. Here's the lick. One more time. Two more time. Slowy time, matrix style. That lick should sound pretty familiar. You've probably heard it before in that kind of Texas blues style. What happens a lot with that lick, it happens a lot on the turnaround. So like on the 5 chord, for instance. So right now I was playing that lick in the key of B. So the 1 chord's B7. The 4 chord is E7 or E9 or E13, E dominant. And then the 5 chord is a whole step up from the 4 chord. So F sharp 9, E9, right? So on that turnaround, you know, that kind of thing. So it's really good in that turnaround, but you can use it in any of the chords. It's you know, a way to describe what's going on is, you know, you've got this just kind of little chromatic thing here. But the way he plays it, it's kind of like playing the blues scale, the 5 chords blues scale for a second. You could also look at it that way. So that's an F sharp 9 chord. You've got so you've got this F sharp right here. So you can see E, F, F sharp. And the little blues scale in F sharp is right there. So you could kind of, that's another way to look at it. When you got the F sharp and you might go to a little, just a tiny little second of the F sharp blues scale. Okay, so let me teach you the lick. It starts with a bend on the G string. And so we've got a little nudge. So it's the 9th fret of the G bent up. Then you've got the 7th fret of the B and the 7th fret of the high E. And if you look at my right hand, after I do that bend, you don't hear it anymore, huh? You don't hear, right? And as you get better at soloing, you'll start to use your picking hand and your left hand to kind of mute the open strings and the strings that you don't want. What I'm using for this lick, I'm kind of relaxing my finger to mute it, but then I'm also kind of using my right hand to just get rid of that. See that? You know? But I could also mute it completely with my left hand. Okay, so then we've got, and I'm actually kind of dragging my pick down over here. Now you could also practice alternate picking. But for this one, it's going to work really well just as kind of like a downstroke. Okay? And that in itself is a cool lick. Okay, then we're going to do the 10th fret on the B string to the 7th fret on the B string, and we're going to give a little quarter tone bend up before we get there. And you could use your ring finger or your pinky. And the trick with those quarter tone bends is you only want to hear it traveling up and then not hear it anymore. You don't want to hear it. You only want to hear it go up, then to the next note. Here we are. Oops. Here we are. Okay, next, we got to go right to this 9th fret on the high E. And that's not in that pentatonic scale, right? Well, like I said earlier, it's kind of, in one way is, you can see that it's the F sharp blues scale. It's in there. But also, if you just want to keep everything from the perspective of the one chord, that note there is called the 9. So we just have to go right to that tone right there, the 9. Right? Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have our index finger right here. It's the root. It's the 7th fret. And we're going to do a hammer-on pull-off with our middle finger between the 7th and the 8th fret. Like that. Next, we're going to go to the 10th fret on the B, back to the root again on the high E, which is the 7th. Like that. So once we go back again to the 10th fret on the B. And there's many ways to finish the lick, but the one I'm teaching you once we go back to that, I'm getting my ring finger right to the 7th fret of the G, bending it up, back down, and then releasing on the 7th of the G. And you could do a whole step bend. I'm doing a half step bend. Really slow.